Hello and welcome. My name is Lexi and today we're going to do a get ready with me. We're going to try out a few new products. So we have some Toty products. This is a new brand. We also have a preview of the SUQQU Autumn Winter or Fall 2023 collection. So I have 3 items I received in PR. We've got a new mascara and the new Givenchy lip balms. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do this kind of as a little bit of a get ready with me. And then I'm also going to go through all of the products separately along with some additional demos. So feel free to use the timestamps. All right, so we're going to start off with the Sisley in the Blur Expert in Zero Light. And I'm using the BK Beauty travel brushes. So they do have a little T. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hold on, let's focus. So they have a little T to show you it's a travel size brush, and they are the same brush heads, just smaller handles. They sent these to me, and yeah, so I figured we'd go ahead and try those out. So I'm using the T101, and we've got a few things to try. And I've been trying these things for a little while, so for the most part. So, you know, I've got some other clips to show you wear tests and things like that as well. I figure we can also, I'll give my Sadie update and so forth today. It's been a little while and she has gotten gigantic. So actually next week we're starting puppy classes. So I'm excited for that. I've never done classes with a dog before. I've always just trained them on my own, but our breeder highly recommended if you've heard of like, AKC puppy star classes. So I figured go ahead and try it out and you know, see if it makes a big difference from what I usually do. So I am going to take the Jones Road bronzers here, and I'm taking shade light and medium. So just want a little bit of each, and I'm going to mix these, but I'm also going to mix them with something else. So here are the two mixed together, or well, here are the two together. So that's light and medium. And I do have a video that has used these already. And then I have been testing out this Toty brand. Here it is. So this is the Illumina CC cream, and it's SPF 50+. This is actually Sofia Vergara's line, which, you know, I'm not really into celebrity makeup lines or anything like that, but this is created, it's all sunscreen stuff, and it's created by this you know, lab in is it in Spain that's like really well known for producing great sunscreens. So I'm pretty curious, so I picked up her products. Now this I actually purchased in shade 1N, and it's a little too light, so I'm going to mix it with the bronzers. I do have a clip to show you what it looks like on its own. Now I wanted to show you how it kind of gets a little bit of like a purpley olive tone to it as well. And I think that's because it does end up getting like, I mean, let's put this on the fingers aside, because I do have a clip showing it with the brushes. But it gets a little pearly. So there's a little bit of like a pearlescence to it. Can you see that? So, you know, it's dewy, but it's also like one of those pearly, dewy looks. So I'm going to go ahead and use this 101 brush on this side, and you can see how the brush goes versus the fingers. I prefer the brush because I like I feel like it gives you a little bit of a lighter layer, and it just, I don't know, I think it looks more natural, you know, but brush versus fingers. Let me bring you in. So fingers, brush. Not a huge difference, but I do feel like it's dewier on the side with the finger application because there is more product there. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of even everything out, go over it with the brush. And I am swiping to kind of remove any excess that I have on that side. And, you know, I have to say, I really like the BK Beauty 101 brush. This travel size brush is great. If you're used to some of the Fude style brushes with the shorter handles, I mean, this is just a great one to have on hand. I'll show you a comparison of the sizes real quickly. All right, so this here's the full size versus the travel. So you can see that the bristles actually, they're still like just a little bit below where the ferrule ends. So if you have that brush, you can kind of see, like even if you put like the tallest part, you can see there's still, what is that, maybe 2.5 centimeters difference between the height where the bristles end versus the ferrule ending on the full size. And just for reference, this is the Sonia G. This is the jumbo base. And you can see we go up to about here. So putting those all together. And then this is a Koh Fupa brush. You can see how much shorter that is. And this is an ancient Gohair brush, and you can see that that's going to be, again, a little bit shorter, not quite as short as the Fupa from Koh. So just some comparisons. I think the travel size is actually a really great size, and the travel set comes with 4 brushes. So I figure we'll go ahead and use these today, but we have the T101 here, the T107, and then we have the T202 and the T207. So let's go ahead for, I'm going to add a little powder and then some blush. For powder today, let's go ahead and use, I'm going to use the Koh Gen Do. This is the Brightening Moisture Powder. This is in the original shade, which is like the beige shade now. And I'm using this Yoshiki brush. And I'm just going to do a light dusting of powder on here, just to get rid of any sort of tacky feeling. So overall, it feels like, you know, it's a skin tint essentially. It's a CC cream. So it just has a little bit of that dewy feeling, but it doesn't feel like it's like oily or greasy per se. It's just that, you know, kind of like sunscreen. All right, so next I did receive 3 items from the SUQQU Autumn Winter collection in PR. So I wanted to share these with you. This is the blush in 143, and you can see we go from beige to a lilac shade. So let me go ahead and just kind of swatch these here. And here's the middle portion, and here's the lilac. You can see how those look gorgeous. So this is your Pure Color blush formula. If we mix it all together, this is what you get. And I love it. So let's go ahead and try it on. I'm going to take the Sonia G Cheek Pro, and I'm actually going to mix all of the shades together, and let's just pat that on. You can see, wow, you can see a touch of that lilac there too. Now on this side, let me just start with the beige side, and then we'll add the lilac or lavender as a highlight. So this is just the far left. So you can see you can build that up a bit, and you don't really have that lavender vibe. And then if we want to add the lavender, I'm just going to take the tip of the bristles here just to get a little bit there, and use that as a highlight. Just add a little bit more of that. So let me know what you think. I love it. Now I did order the rest of the collection. You can pre-order the collection right now by emailing suqq.london@eqpuk.com. I'll have that down below in the description box. But I did pre-order everything. Let me just briefly show you this as well. I'll show you the demo of this actually in, we'll do that in a minute. But this is the liquid eyeshadow in shade 101. This is limited edition. You can see it is a gray shade. Now it does have a little bit of a warm undertone, so it's not too cool. So if you put this next to a cooler tone gray, you'll see like hints of brown in there. If you leave it on its own, it's gonna look like a pale slate gray, and there's some shimmer in there. So we'll talk about this. I've already tested this out, and I have a wear test I'll show you on this as well. But I wanted to use the quad today. So this is the quad that I received. This is 128, and I did order the other one as well. Let's go ahead and swatch it. And we have this gray shade first, a gray glittery shade, and you can see that there's almost like a hint of an olive green in there. Then we have this matte beige. And I love this particular shade of beige because it's like a rosy beige. We have a shimmery orangey gold. And then we have a matte brown. And what I love about this palette is it's not overly warm, it's not cool. You've kind of got mixes of everything in there, cool and warm tones, which I particularly really love. I love having that versatility to mix and match, not just the shades, but the tones. Really beautiful. So we're just going to do a quick eye look with this palette right now, and I will show you eye swatches and so forth in the full video when I receive the rest of the collection. But in the meantime, if you have any requests for comparisons for any of the SUQQU fall collection, please be sure to let me know so I can include them in the full-length video. So I'm going to start off adding a little eye primer. I'm using the Vizier eye primer, and you know, I guess I didn't do any concealer today. I should do that. But back to Sadie, I'll show you a few little clips while I'm doing this, but she has been really good. She has grown so quickly. It's really kind of crazy. You know, I forgot how quickly she grow. Like you can put her to bed and then the next day it looks like she has doubled in size, essentially. Like it's that instant. It's really pretty interesting. So I'm just using a stick concealer here and just going to tap a little bit of this on. And yeah. And oh, my nails. I know somebody's going to ask about these. This is the Ghosts of, I'm not sure how to say it. If I had known I was going to say it, I would have looked it up in advance, but Hecate, Hecate. So it's from Moon. Oh, gosh. So the eyeshadow's from Mooncat. So Ghosts of Hecate, or however that is supposed to be said, but I love it, and you can see that it's like reflective. You can put this over a dark base and you get a really beautiful color, but otherwise you get kind of this like shimmery, like pink lavender kind of shade, and you can use it as a topper on its own. This is just 2 coats on its own. We're going to go ahead and move straight into this palette. So I'm going to start off with the travel brush in 202 with this base shade. I'm going to put this kind of all over, and yeah, so there we go. Wow, this shade is just beautiful right on its own. I mean, I could just wear that every day on its own. So with Sadie, we've been working on getting her used to the car ride and so forth. My parents live about an hour away. So, you know, now that summer vacation, we've been trying to go visit them more frequently. So the kids and I will hop in the car and drive over there. She does so well as long as she's sitting next to somebody. So she sits right in between the 2 girls usually. And she has a seatbelt and everything. But yeah, she's really good about that. If I have to put her in the car without them in there, like our vet visits and so forth, she'll cry for like maybe like 2 minutes and then she settles down. So this is the 207 brush with the dark brown. I really like this shade here. Just going to drag any excess into the crease, deepen that a little bit. Oh, that's really pretty though. And yeah, I mean, I guess there's not too much to say about her. She is fantastic. She's sleeping through the night for the most part. She's still very bitey because she's teething. And she's starting to get kind of into her teenagery phase where, you know, they kind of forget some of their commands and don't listen as well. So hoping, you know, she'll break out of that soon, and the puppy classes will help with that. And yeah, I mean, just couldn't be happier with her. Absolutely love her. Even my husband, who really didn't want a dog, he loves her. And he's actually very happy with her. So I think I'm not really going to use the gold too much. Let's go in with this silver shade though. We're going to put this on top here. Ooh, I love this color. I think that's going to be it. We'll use the gold as eyeliner today. And yeah, I mean, I love this quad. I really love this quad. So let me get a pencil for eyeliner. I'm going to take this Byredo 11 brush, and we're going to go into the gold here with this. And just going to put a little bit close to the eye line. And yeah, so everything else that's been going on, you know, the girls have been in summer camp and they are loving it. They're starting a different camp next week, but they don't have camp all summer. They do have some weeks at home. We've got a trip to Mexico later this summer. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to get Sadie used to the car rides and used to my parents' house, because they're going to be watching her while we are gone. And yeah, I'm honestly like kind of don't want to leave her. I know that sounds kind of silly, but yeah, I wish we could take her with us, but you know, I think it's better for her to stay here. Even if we could, it would definitely, she'd have more fun. She loves my parents actually. So my dad is definitely one of those people that like every dog always likes. It's really kind of funny. I mean, every dog likes my mom because she gives lots of treats, but my dad has just something innate about him that every dog loves. All right, so this is the quad. I mean, it's just beautiful. I really like it. I'm going to add a little bit of the blush to the inner corner, that lilac shade. So let me bring you in. So I'm using this 207 brush, and I'm just going to dab a little bit right here. And that's it. So for mascara, I have a demo and wear test to show you for this as well. This mascara was gifted to me. It's from What's Up Beauty. Let me curl my lashes. I'm using the Refer. This is the 20R one. And this one, you know, I find very similar to the Surratt. And I mean, they're both favorites. So I really like this one a lot. And they have the smaller size, the 18R, which is great if you need a smaller size brush or curler. All right, I couldn't find the mascara, but of course it is right in front of my face. So it is called Watch Me. And what is really cool about this mascara is the wand. So let me just get that to focus. You can see you have kind of a fluffy brush for most of it, right? But then you also have this comb at the top. So you can apply it with the fluffy brush, and then you can use the comb to get more definition. I find using the comb actually, you know, not only gives more definition, but also deposits a little bit more product. So your lashes are going to look super long. So I have that in the demo. We're going to go for a lighter look with the mascara today. So I'm just going to use the fluffy side. And this mascara is really nice. You can totally get like a very voluminous lengthening look, or you can get something a little bit more understated like I'm doing right now. All right, so that's the mascara. We're doing a light look today. So I'll do brows later off camera while I'm showing you some of the demos. But for lips, I thought we would just go ahead and use one of the new Givenchy lip balms. And I do have the lip swatches I will show you as well. But these come in the beautiful purple packaging. And if you haven't seen yet, if you're not following me on the community tab or on Instagram, the Givenchy loose powder blushes are now available at Sephora in both the US and Canada. Look at this packaging. So I'm really hopeful that means we're going to start getting some of these limited edition blush shades. This first one here, so that's one layer there. And then this is number 24. And you can see it's a very light, these are lip balms, so it's a very light lavender lip balm. There's a little bit of a pinky purple hue to it. And you can see there is some shimmer in here. So this is great on its own or mixing it. I have been wearing this one quite a bit, you know, big surprise since I love purple. And then we have 25, and this is called, I forget, like Purple Grays or something like that. It's not really purple though. I mean, there's maybe a touch of a blue tone purplish hint to it, but honestly, this is really more of a soft rosewood, maybe with a little bit more pink than a true rosewood. Now, shade 26 is actually called Rosewood Glint, I believe. And you can see this one has a little bit more red. It's going to be deeper. So those are the 3 shades, 24, 25, and 26. I think they're all beautiful, but really the only one that's purple is 24. And it's sold out immediately from the Givenchy site. So I'm really hoping that we'll get these available at other retailers. So I'm just gonna put on shade 25. So because I'm using a lip balm instead of a lipstick, I'm gonna give my lips just a little more definition. This is the Esom lip liner. This one's in my favorite. It's the Duo in Blushed, and I'm gonna use this like pinky one. So that's this. So I'm just gonna add this, and while I'm doing that, let me show you the lip swatches for the Givenchy. All right, so after looking at the lip swatches for these, I have to say, I think all 3 of the shades are gorgeous. I personally really like the Givenchy tinted lip balms in general. I find that they perform very well. They do have a fragrance. So if you do not like fragrance lip products, you know, Givenchy lip products in general are not for you, but it is gonna be, you know, some sort of floral fragrance. And I personally find their lip balms to be on the more hydrating side. I find them comfortable to use. They have a good balance of waxes and oils, so they don't feel too firm, yet they're not too oily. They don't feel like they're gonna melt. So I personally really like them. I love how this collection has a touch of shimmer in the shades. I absolutely adore the packaging. By the way, these cases can be used on their like lipsticks and stuff as well. So the lip balms themselves, these in the limited edition shades are not in refillable packaging. However, the actual top, you can totally reuse that on any of the other Givenchy lip products in this size. So obviously not the slim tube style. And I mean, again, we've got shade 24, 25, and 26. I have to say, I really love all 3 of them. 24 is my favorite, but between 25 and 26, I think they're both gorgeous. 26 is actually slightly cooler. It has a little bit more of a pinky red to it, like a cooler tone pinky red. 25 actually has a little touch of purple in there. There's a little bit of mauve, but it's also more of a rosewood mixed with that. So you've got a little bit of that nude brown and a little bit of that rosy pink mixed in as well. So I think all 3 shades are gorgeous. I personally, if you can find them and get your hands on them, I'd recommend them. Let's move on to the SUQQU products. And again, I did order the rest of the collection, so that will be coming, and please leave any comparison requests down below in the description box for anything in the collection. So first we're looking at the Pure Color Blush. And again, this is shade 143. I absolutely love the gradient here, going from this like nude beige that has a touch of warmth to this lilac. So you could use it the way I used it today, where you use the beige side as your blush. You can see it's like a peachy nude, and then the lavender can be your highlight, or you can mix them all together as I did on the right side, and they're just stunning. Sorry, I had to run and get the door, but we were talking about the Pure Color Blush. You can see it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Definitely, you know, this was a color that called to me the most because of the lilac, but I did order the other one as well. Now, as for the eyeshadow quad, let's look at the quad first, which are these 4 here. I love this quad. This is going to be one that I reach for all the time. It's quad 128. I love how we've got some warmer shades like this orangey gold. This beige shade is perfect for my skin tone. I love it. This like gray has a little bit of an olivey green tone to it. Really pretty. And the brown is, you know, it's neutral leaning cool. You can see there's a little bit of a reddish purpley tone in there. Really beautiful. Love this whole quad. Now, as for the liquid eyeshadows, this is a brand new product from SUQQU. So they have, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think, I think there are 5 of the regular shades. Is it 5 or is it 6? And then there are 2 limited edition. This is number 101, which is a limited edition. And I have to say, you know, it's a really nice product. So here it is where it's piled up. It still feels a little tacky. You can see, you know, I can kind of smear it a little bit. It's really more the shimmer that's smearing, but I do get some on my finger. This side here that's dry and is thinner, I'm getting maybe a tiny bit of glitter, but not much. And you can see that the color is not smearing. However, let me cut to the wear test and demo of this while I'm talking. So with this product here, you know, it has an interesting texture. It's very thin, very lightweight. You don't really feel it on the eyes. Super easy to spread out with your finger or a brush. If you use a brush, you get a little bit of a lighter application. It's pretty sheer. You can definitely use these layered on top of each other. You can use them in conjunction with powder shadows. But it is a product where, you know, you will get some creasing by the end of the day unless you use a very, very light sheer layer and you're just looking more for like a hint of color. So if you're going to pile it up to really see that color, you are going to get a little creasing. It's really easy to pat that out. I don't think it's creasing. So, you know, it all depends, but let's face it, most liquid eyeshadows will do that. What makes this one better than other liquid eyeshadows that crease, in my opinion, is the fact that this formula is thinner. So even though you get some creasing, it doesn't look as bad as creasing you get with some formulas that are a little bit thicker in formulation because you don't have quite as much buildup there. And because it is a more sheer product, it's just, you know, it just looks a little bit better than something that could be a little bit thicker and gunkier essentially. So I have to say, I really do like these new liquid eyeshadows. They are not perfect though, in my opinion. A perfect liquid eyeshadow would not crease, but I have to say I really like them. I love the effect it gives on my lids. And, you know, I love the sheerness of it and how easy it is to use. The wand on this, let me show you that. Now, the wand on this is really easy to use for applying this. I'm just going to go ahead and swatch it again. You can see it's a pretty firm wand. You've got enough flexibility to apply it directly to your lid. You can easily spread it out because the actual applicator itself is not a super fluffy flocked one. You do have a little bit of fluff on there obviously to carry the pigment, but it's not super fluffy, and because of that you're getting, you know, pretty much the right amount of product. You're not getting too much. On some eyes, people have larger eyes, it might even be too little and you go back in with a little bit more product. Which I think is better, you know, less is more. So this applicator makes it really easy to just get a light layer, and you could even apply it just with the applicator and be happy with that, in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on the SUQQU. I'm very excited to see the rest of the collection. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I posted some preview pictures of their 20th anniversary collection, which is coming out in September. Ooh, it is stunning. I mean, definitely something I look forward to and to start saving up for. So let's take a look at the What's Up Beauty mascara. So this was sent to me. What's Up Beauty, this is a relatively new brand, or at least it's new to me. And they had previously sent me these brushes. So they have some eye brushes. They're natural goat hair, undyed. I have to say I really like them because they come in like smaller sizes and so forth. They've got some really great shapes. So they reached out and offered to send me this mascara, which just launched. And I have to say, I really think they are a brand to watch. You know, I love the brush, as I showed you during today's demo. I love the fact that you've got the comb in there. I have only worn it for a full one day so far, but I didn't experience any flaking. I was outside in the heat and the humidity, and it didn't it didn't smear or smudge or anything. So I have to say I'm enjoying it so far. I'll definitely update you on that at the end of the month. It's clean, cruelty-free, made in Italy. And according to their package here, by the way, it has 10 milliliters of product. This is a hybrid brush which has twisted wire bristles to load mascara and create volume, and a silicone comb to define, add length, and curl lashes. Formulated with the active ingredients biotin, tripeptide 1, and panthenol, or vitamin B5, 2 lash conditioners to help promote hair growth and to create longer, fuller, and stronger lashes. So this is also supposed to promote lash growth as well. I have to say, I'm very impressed. It does have a 6-month shelf life, which is standard for mascara products or anything liquid going on your eyes. As I mentioned, it's 10 milliliters of product, and this brand is out of Chandler, Arizona, and I have seen that they are sold on some other websites as well, but I will leave them linked down below. I definitely think they're a brand to watch because I really like the brushes they sent. I really like that mascara, and let me just show you. They had also sent me this palette, which I've played around with. I haven't actually featured this on my channel, but this is their Geodes eyeshadow palette. And, you know, let me just go ahead and swatch a few of these shades here. So these are the first 2 shades. Let's put them here. So we got kind of that warm taupe, and then this, look, it actually is just a little pinker version of my nails. So that's shade Rock and Crystal. Let me swatch this green Peridot. So, I mean, really pretty. It's got a mix of mattes and shimmers in here. I think it's a really pretty palette. So, but for me, the standouts here with so far are, you know, the brushes #1 and then the mascara. So, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next new brand. So this is the brand Toty. And this here is the Illumina CC cream. It's SPF 50 plus. As I mentioned, it's made in Spain. We have 1.4 grams of product, and it's a tinted, you know, it's a CC cream, so it's got tinted SPF and so forth. And the active ingredients here are, we have 6.3% zinc oxide and 9% titanium dioxide. So I do think that even with the deeper shades, you're going to get a little bit of that white cast on here. And you can see on my skin that it gives you a bit of that pearly effect. So right now I'm showing you the demo where I did one side, you know, just with the CC cream. So you could see, obviously the shade is too light for me, but even with it being lighter, you can see that pearly effect that is present in the formula. There's a little bit of pearlescence there. So reminds me a little bit of, I believe it's already discontinued, but there was an Armani skin tint that came out a few years ago that also had kind of that pearly effect. And that's what this reminds me of. As for sun protection, I have worn it outside. Obviously, I don't go outside with the intention of burning ever, but I have not gotten any color on my skin while using this. And I was outside watching my kids play tennis and everything yesterday, and it also didn't sweat off. I got the wear test that you can see here. This is what it looked like after 9 hours. Probably about 3 hours or so were outside in the heat and humidity, you know, pretty much right before I filmed the update on that. So, you know, it actually performs very well. I have to say, aside from this not being the greatest shade for me, I really like the actual product, but you do need to be aware of that titanium dioxide and the potential white cast that you can get. So I do like mixing it with the Jones Road gel bronzers. Any sort of liquid gel bronzer I think would help you get, you know, just the right shade. Now, this brand also has another product, and I'm going to show you that demo right now while I'm pulling this out. You can see in the demo here, I'm showing you the packaging and how it comes. And you can see that this is, it comes in 2 different parts. You get the refills separate from the compact. And, you know, I had an issue at first because I kept thinking that the compact, the cream part, would go in the bottom of the compact, and there would be like a brush, or not a brush, you know, a sponge that goes on the top, but that's not the case. Now, if you pull back on the mirror, it will lift up and you can keep your applicator down below. It does not come with one. At least mine did not come with anything else in the packaging. My mistake. It actually does come with one. I just didn't see it in the box, but it's in the packaging with the refill. You get, it's just a round sponge, you know, just your classic sponge. And that will go in the compact as well. So the compact itself closes with a magnet. You have a mirror on the top. Packaging is nice. You can see it's actually vented at the bottom. So, you know, that's going to help a little bit with, you know, cleaning. Well, it helps a little bit with your sponge. You don't want like a wet sponge in there. So this is a sponge, and I just did not see it inside this white box, but it was there. So that is designed to go right down there. You can easily flip that up. And this is magnetic, so very easy to refill. You've got a little refill button here. So packaging and everything on this, I think it's nice. You know, it's a nice package. You know, overall it's good. However, I don't love this actual cream. You know, you could see in the demo here, let me just swatch this on. If you use a very little bit and you have the right shade, this might give you just, you know, a little bit of like a tint. However, I find this to be a little bit drier. You can see even here on my arm. Let me spread a bunch on this hand here so you can see how that goes. But you could see that if I kept layering it on my face, it just kind of ended up looking, I don't know. I felt like it looked a little like bumpy. Like there were some parts that were dry and some parts that were wet. And I didn't really like that. It just didn't look smooth and even. Now, obviously it's going to be emphasized because this I got in the same shade, the 1N. So it is too light for me. But just look at how it appears on my hand here. It just doesn't look even just spreading it out. Now, what I do like is it kind of dries to a more powder finish. So I like the fact that it does that. I like the way it feels once it's dry, but unless you're using a very tiny bit, I think layering this, I mean, you can see it like fills in the lines and cracks in my skin and so forth. And then I just don't think that it looks very good. So finish wise, I actually think the CC cream is better. And I prefer that and how that looks on my skin. I love the concept of the CC creamy compact, but I don't love the actual end result. Now, as for this, the case will come in a flowered packaging like this. The refill comes in a white box. We have titanium dioxide, actually 10.4% in this. So it's actually a higher percentage than the CC cream. It's also SPF 50 plus. You have 10 grams of product, and it's supposed to be water resistant for 80 minutes. And it's a mineral-based sunscreen. So I like the concept, but I just don't love the final result of this. And I do feel like to get the full SPF 50, you know, just one thin light layer isn't really going to provide that. So you would definitely need to layer it again. And I just don't think it looks that great that way. And I also just wanted to mention the BK Beauty travel set. So I didn't use 107 today, but we did use the other 3 brushes in the set, and it does come with a little case. I think it's a great travel set. I think even if you're not traveling, it's just a greater short handle set. I really like it. So thank you so much to BK Beauty for sending that to me. Thank you to SUQQU and What's Up Beauty for sending me those items as well. And yeah, as you notice, I am still loving the Sisley Blur powder as well. So in the light shade, very glad they made that. So anyway, those are my thoughts on those. I hope this was helpful. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on all of these new items. And yeah, overall, I'm very excited for the SUQQU fall coming. I'm really hoping I can get the blush that is part of this Givenchy collection. I have not seen that pop up anywhere yet, but I am keeping an eye out for it. Make sure you subscribe to me and follow me on the community tab so you can find out any updates on that. I'm hopeful that now that we're getting the Prisma Libra blushes in the US, maybe they'll send out some of these limited edition blush shades as well to the US. So we'll see. I'm very optimistic. What's Up Beauty mascara was great. Toty was hit and miss. I do like the CC cream though. I think, you know, even though it wasn't the best shade, I think mixing it with the bronzers works for me. So I will continue to use that. And yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this, like the color stories that are coming out now. These are like, this is me. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you so much for all of your interest in our puppy Sadie. She is doing super well and she sends her love plenty of kisses and bites. So I'll talk to you very soon and have a great day.